y'all, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. This is my January wrap-up. I read one nonfiction last month, and I read 22 books of the Bible. Of the nonfiction, I'm going to go over that first. But the nonfiction was called Child of Satan, Child of God by Susan Atkins. Excuse me, had a hiccup there. This was about the Susan Atkins who was convicted of the crimes against Tate and LeBlanc back in the 70s. You will also know her as being part of the cult of the Manson family. Reading the reviews on this book was very heartbreaking, and seeing how much people just have so much animosity towards her, saying that she doesn't deserve to be saved and she's just saying it to get out of feeling guilty or something like that. It was just really heartbreaking. But reason I read this was because I am of the belief that no one is too far gone for Jesus to save. That is what we're taught in the Bible, and you've seen it over and over again. And for people who are Christians to say that she doesn't deserve to be saved has probably never picked up the Bible, because we see countless people who God saved and did horrible things. I mean, we can even look at David, who is known for the man after God's own heart, who committed adultery and then sent her husband to the very front of the lines to for sure be, well, how do I say it without being demonetized, unalived, so he couldn't come back home and know that his wife committed adultery. So, I mean, that's just one example. We can go over more, but no one is too far gone for Jesus to save until Jesus comes back and says that time is up. What do I actually fully think? I don't know the woman, so I can't say if her fruit was for sure a Christian, but she did sound very genuine, and I even have it highlighted that she said she deserves prison. Now, I did skip over when she retells of the crimes she committed. I had to skip over. Mostly I just wanted to know about her conversion and where she went from there. But reading her early childhood, you can see the seeds that were planted throughout her life that I mean, she knew of Christ before she left, but she was a very lost child, and she was very starved of affection, and that definitely plays into a lot of people who join cults because they're starved of affection, and once that cult gets there and they just love bomb, of course they're gonna, join it. And then, but anyway, yes, I don't rate nonfiction anymore, so I just don't have a rating on this. But now for the Bible. So I did this with Whitney. I did her challenge of give me Jesus for the whole month of mostly reading scripture. Now, I had the goal of reading the whole Bible through the month of January, and I just ended up not making that. But 22 books out of 66, I'm going to look at as a win. I mean, that's 25% of the Bible completed. So I'm gonna look at that as a win. But I finished Genesis, Exodus, Ruth, Job, Daniel, which I buddy read with. I had buddy read with T. I will link her down below. Hosea, Joel, Obadiah, Jonah, Nahum, Habakkuk. I don't know why I can never say that man's name. Zephaniah, Haggai, Malachi, John, Titus, Philemon, James, 1st and 2nd Peter, Jude, and Revelation. I did get. I have read since in the Psalms. I think I got to Psalm 107 or 108. I got to Proverbs, I want to say 19. I've continued reading in those books since then, so I don't have those marked. I have read a little bit of Leviticus. I think I'm in the first 1 to 5 chapters of Leviticus. And as of right now, I'm still going through Proverbs, Psalms, and now Ecclesiastes. But I'm also doing deep dives on scripture with the word wife in it. And I have been using this here, my keyword study Bible, to do a deep dive on that because I want to see what God says a wife should be and how to serve my husband biblically. I have a bit of a little haul. If you've seen my unhaul video, I did get some store credit, and so I bought some books. Let's go over those. So the first one is an author that my librarian says that she thinks I will for sure love. I have gotten this out of the library, and every single time I just run out of time to read it and just return it. But this is Piercing the Darkness by Frank E. Peretti. The store that I went to has 3 locations, and the location we went to is not one I normally go to. And that one's fantasy selection was very sad. It was 1 row down an aisle, and it was mixed with sci-fi, and the sci-fi was one side, just one bookshelf, and it wasn't even all the way bookshelf. Some fantasy went into that. So their pickings at that location was very slim versus the one that I normally go to, which has a full room of fantasy and sci-fi. So I have $74 of store credit that I still need to use. So next time we go to that store, I am going to the one I normally go to because, yeah. But I still found some things. I won't say it was a complete waste in the fantasy section, but while I'm complaining about the fantasy section, I will say their Christian nonfiction and their Christian fiction was actually really good. It was a pretty good selection, so I can't complain. But of fantasy, I gotta cover this guy. I did find Stephen Lawhead books. I found 2. Unfortunately, they're not part of the same series like I thought when I grabbed them. But the first one is Merlin, which is book 2 of the Pendragon cycle. And then this one is The Endless Knot, which is book 3 of the Song of Albion. Reason I'm doing this is because this is a very 90s cover. I think this, when I looked it up, this was made in 1993. And this man ain't got a shirt on. So I gotta find a sticky note to slap on there and make him a little shirt, because we ain't wanting to see the man chesties out, okay? We're just not here for it. So that's why I'm covering him up. And she's also got kind of a slit going on, but you have to really look to see hers. But his is full out there. I know my comments are gonna blow up on this one because this was pretty much around a lot last year. I do plan on reading it, but I'm not gonna read it until November. And that is The Divine Proverb of Streusel by Sarah Brunsvold. Brunsvold? I think Brunsvold. But yes, I mean, this, look at that. It hardly looks like it's been read. So I'm super, super excited. Also, just to let y'all know, this was $4. It's $3.99, so I'm just gonna round up. This was $2.50. This was $2.50. This was $8.50, and I can't wait to get to it because, like I said, I've seen it everywhere last year. And I know my comment section is going to blow up when y'all see this. Most expensive book that I got at, I mean, I say most expensive, but really it was store credit. But I am trying to dive into the history of the early church and, well, just church history in general. So I got The Story of Christianity by Justo L. Gonzalez. Or Justo, maybe it's pronounced Justo. Either way, the early church of the early church to the dawn of Reformation, and this bookstore takes in books that are highlighted because look at that, there's some highlights in here. Someone got some good notes out of this. If you guys have any book recommendations on the early church, drop them down below because, like I said, that's something I want to get into and study. Oh, also in the month of February, even though this is not part of the January wrap-up, but I will also talk about this in my February wrap-up. But I already have a DNF this year. It's kind of sad, I know. But it is Little House in the Big Woods by Laura Ingalls Wilder. Maybe I don't know. Maybe once Little Man gets to a certain age, I don't even know if this would be for Little Man. But maybe if we ever have a little girl, you know, if the Lord is willing, maybe I could read this to her and go from there. But right now, I have my first DNF of the year. Anyway, I'm done talking. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.